My brothers and sisters, what is going on? Steel Sermon in the house Tuesday morning with another video. As always, do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, link in the description. Who would think that on May 2nd, I'd be sitting down here and I'd be talking about a series between the two best records in baseball, and one of them involves my team. Who would think that? Pittsburgh Pirates head on down to Tampa Bay to play the Rays 3-game series starting tonight at Tropicana Field. First pitch, I believe, at 6:35, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm just going to do a little preview here, because these are two really good squads going at it with each other. Let's talk about with the Tampa Bay Rays first. They come in at 23-6. They started the season off a resounding 13-0, and they have not let up on the AL East since then. I mean, sure, they've hit a few rough patches since then. They've gone 10-6 since that 13-0 start. So people are kind of saying that the Pirates are starting to, are due to fall back down to earth a little bit, and we are. This is a month, and I'll get into this a little bit. This is a month where we are going to be heavily tested. But Tampa Bay, in my honest opinion, they have more coming down to earth than we do. Just because of the start that they had, and I'm not taking anything away from Tampa Bay. They consistently have a top 5 farm. They're the lowest budget and the lowest payroll in the entire league, and they're playing this good quality ball. They are a great team down there in Tampa Bay. So please don't mistake it. I'm not taking anything away from the Rays. I'm just saying it's just how baseball goes. You're due to fall back down to earth a little bit. And, with the fact that people say, well, the Pirates, they just beat up on the Reds. They just beat up on the Rockies. They haven't played anybody. Well, I got some news for you. Number one, the Pirates are 6-3 against teams that are at or above 500. So don't tell me that we can't beat good teams, because we obviously can. All right? Yes, this is the best team that we're playing this year. At least so far it is. But the best team that we've beaten, you can give it a toss between Houston and the Dodgers. Okay, we lost a series to Houston. We managed to salvage a game against them and come back against them on a G1 Bay walk-off 3-run homer. And then we took 2 out of 3 against LA after dropping the first game last week and then responding by taking 2 of 3 from them. So we've beaten good teams. But take a look at who Tampa Bay has beaten. So far, the best team they've beaten in a series is Boston. And the best team that they've beaten, period, is either Toronto or Houston. But even then, Tampa Bay lost both those Toronto and Houston series. And need I remind you that the Rays just got done allowing the Chicago White Sox to snap a 10-game losing streak against them by putting up 12 runs against them, and they had a little bit of trouble against the Cincinnati Reds. Okay? They're 14-2 at home this year. They have been dominant at home in Tropicana Field. Now, if there's anything that I will mildly trash talk about the Rays, it's that absolute trash can that they have down there in Tampa Bay and Tropicana Field. We'll call it Trashicana Field, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, I really don't expect full houses for this series. I mean, that's just how Tropicana Field is, okay? I honestly expect there to be more Pirate fans there than Rays fans. But anyway, the Rays are a legit contender. They got some good young pitchers down there who are just phenomenal. And are the Rays going to hit the cover off the ball? Absolutely not. This is not a team that's going to hit, 200 homers a year. They're not going to have 5 guys that are going to hit 25-plus homers a year, and that's fine. But the reason that Tampa Bay is so competitive is because their front office is so well managed and they know how to call up their kids from the farm. And they're giving them quality playing time. And maybe, yes, they did overachieve a little bit to start the season. And maybe, yes, they did have the beneficiary of having a rather soft schedule like we did. Okay, we're 20-9. We've beaten up on the Reds. We've beaten up on the Rockies. We've beaten up on the Nationals. We've beaten up on the White Sox. But we've also beaten up on Boston. We beat up on the Dodgers. We managed to split with St. Louis. Okay. And I know the Cardinals stink right now, but still going in a bush for us is a tall order to do, to take a series from them. So, I mean, yeah, we've had our fair share of soft opponents too, but we've also had our fair share of tough opponents. And Tampa Bay, yeah, they're 14-2 at home, but I counter that by saying, do you know the Pirates are 11-5 on the road this season? That's right. We are 11-5 on the road this season. We've played great ball on the road this year. And the last time these two teams met was last year in a 3-game series down in Tampa Bay. The Rays had trouble putting us away. Now, they're not dealing with Josh Van Meter or Yoshi Sasugo or whoever, Kevin Padlo anymore. They're not dealing with those guys anymore. What they're dealing with tonight, I think, is Rowanzi Contreras. Okay, Derek Shelton still has to come up with the pitching matchup. I think Rowanzi's next in line to start, though. They're not dealing with O'Neal Cruz. They had to deal with O'Neal Cruz last year, and the only reason they're not dealing with O'Neal Cruz now is because O'Neal Cruz is still out another 3 months. Okay? Now they're dealing with McCutchen returning. Now they're dealing with Carlos Santana returning. Now they're dealing with G1 Bay. Now they're dealing with Austin Hedges. Now they're dealing with a fully healthy Ke'Bryan Hayes. And now they're dealing with an extended and rejuvenated Brian Reynolds. That's who Tampa Bay has to deal with in this series. And it just kind of seems like if you have strong pitching and if you have good enough fundamentals with the ball, you don't need to score, 16 runs against Tampa Bay. Our magic number this year is 4. The Pirates are 17-2 this year when we score 4 or more runs. Okay? So we're putting runs on the board. And we're pitching fundamentally as well. Johan Oviedo may have had a bad start against Washington the other day, but we were due to have a bad start. It happens. But my point is, while the Rays are a great team, we're a good team too. Neither one of us is going to keep up this winning percentage all season, okay? Both of us are bound to have, slumps and down moments of the year. It happens with every team. And honestly, the results in the series, they really don't matter to me, at least right now. I mean, sure, I'm absolutely rooting for us to win this series. I mean, what kind of a fan would I be if I sat down here and didn't root for us to win this series? But what I'm saying is if we, God forbid, get swept again, or we lose 2 out of 3 to Tampa Bay, it won't really hinder us all that much at this juncture of the season, because now that we're in the month of May, we can start to afford a few more losses because Milwaukee's losing, Chicago's been on a slump lately, and we have a large enough gap, between the Reds and the Cardinals to keep our foot on them in the NL Central. So it's like, yeah, we can afford a couple losses in May because we took care of it early on. And if we just finish ordinary, okay, we're 11 games over 500 right now. We can't finish 11 games over 500 on the season unless one of our games just doesn't get made up, okay? But if we just finish ordinary for the rest of the season, we play 500 ball for the rest of the season, this team ends up with 87 wins on the season. In a season where no one thought we'd do anything. And what kind of special would it be if we go down to Tampa Bay and beat a really good Rays team? And those are really just my keys to victory for this series. We have to look like that we can pitch against this team, and we can. Because, like I said, the Rays are all about fundamentals. We're going to have to beat their fundamentals with ours. And that's strong quality pitching, having quality starts from our starters, and utilizing back end of the bullpen. We can do that. And if Roansy Contreras is indeed starting tonight, I actually really like our chances of taking the first two. Because after him comes Mitch Keller, which would be tomorrow night. So my key here is we have to win at least today or tomorrow. That's my key. Tonight or tomorrow are must-wins for us in this series. We have to hit against them as well. Our bats are scalding hot. We had a bad day in D.C. to wrap up the series, sure, but let's not act like that the rain delay didn't have a factor in it as well. Sure, Washington had to deal with it too, but rain delays can affect teams in different ways. All right, this is a team that can score runs. This is a team that's top 5 in every category when it comes to offense. This is a team that can get on base. This is a team that can steal bags for sure. We lead the league in 40 stolen bases this year. So Tampa Bay, you better not walk one of our guys, because you can bank they're going to get themselves in scoring position. And most of all, play smart defense as well. This is a good, sound defensive team. Sure, we have our, a couple of hiccups here and there, but it's a young team that's learning. It's a young team that is still, establishing an identity for themselves. But more often than not, you're going to see this team play good quality defense here and there. And that just leads to what I'm saying about the Bucks right now. Going back to the beginning. Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh Pirate fans. Are you guys sick and tired of the media writing us off and all these experts and fans saying, oh, the Pirates haven't played anybody? Well, guess what, guys? It's put up or shut up. It's put up or shut up right now. Because after this series against Tampa Bay, it don't get easier. After this, we come back home to play the Toronto Blue Jays. That's another good team. Later in the month, we got to play the Texas Rangers. Later in the month, we got to play the Baltimore Orioles. Those are two really good teams right now. And then to close out the month, we got the Mariners, who, yes, are off to a sloppy start right now, but they're still a good team. And the Arizona Diamondbacks at the end of the month, who are also playing pretty good ball right now. Those are 18 tough games in the month of May. Okay? 18 tough games. We're going to be tested heavily this month. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And judging by how this team is able to beat teams above 500, and with the way that we are showing aggression and energy and leadership and veteranship, I do not have a doubt in my mind that we can win at least 9 of these 18 games. We may not take this series against Tampa Bay, and that's fine. But as long as we show up and we prove to the Rays, hey, we ain't a pushover. You may have a better record than us, but we're a great team too. And we're going to prove it to you. To me, it doesn't matter if we drop this series to Tampa Bay. As long as we put up a fight and we show that we're focused and we maintain and see where we are actually getting better. The bottom line, play like you want it. And it starts tonight in Tampa Bay. in that garbage stadium in Tropicana Field, which Rays fans don't even like, okay? Like I said, I got no hate for the Rays. I actually like seeing small market teams succeed. I do. But their stadium's a dump. All right? There's no denying that. But anyway, this is a clash of the Titans here. A team that has great fundamentals against a team that's just greatly aggressive and will just put themselves in position to win a game. It's the Pirates and the Rays. Starts tonight in Tropicana Field. Round 1 of 3 between these guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is Steel Sermon checking on out for the day. May God be with you all. Let's go Bucks!